Fair Use Daily Reflections. This is a book of reflections by AA members for AA members. October 15th. My checklist, not yours. Gossip barbed with our anger, a polite form of murder by character assassination, has its satisfactions for us too. Here we are not trying to help those we criticize. We are trying to proclaim our own righteousness. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 67. Sometimes I don't realize that I gossiped about someone until the end of the day. When I take an inventory of the day's activities, and then my gossiping appears like a blemish in my beautiful day. How could I have said something like that? Gossip shows its ugly head during a coffee break or lunch with business associates. Or I may gossip during the evening when I'm tired from the day's activities and feel justified in bolstering my ego at the expense of someone else. Character defects like gossip sneak into my life when I am not making a constant effort to work the 12 steps of recovery. I need to remind myself that my uniqueness is the blessing of my being, and that applies equally to everyone who crosses my path in life's journey. Today, the only inventory I need to take is my own. I'll leave judgment of others to the final judge, divine providence. Courage to Change One Day at a Time in Al-Anon, October 15th. The most loving form of detachment I have found has been forgiveness. Instead of thinking of it as an eraser to wipe another's slate clean or a gavel that I pound to pronounce someone not guilty, I think of forgiveness as scissors. I use it to cut the strings of resentment that bind me to a problem or a past hurt. By releasing resentment, I set myself free. When I am consumed with negativity over another person's behavior, I have lost my focus. I needn't tolerate what I consider unacceptable, but wallowing in negativity will not alter the situation. If there is action to take, I am free to take it. Where I am powerless to change the situation, I will turn it over to my higher power by truly letting go. I detach and forgive. When my thoughts are full of bitterness, fear, self-pity, and dreams of revenge, there is little room for love or for the quiet voice of guidance within me. I am willing to love myself enough to admit that resentments hold me back, and then I can let them go. Today's reminder. Every time I try to tighten the noose of resentment around someone's neck, I am really only choking myself. Today, I will practice forgiveness instead. There is a quote from In All Our Affairs, and it reads, "A part of me wants to cling to old resentments, but I know that the more I forgive, the better my life works." Just for today, Daily Meditations for Recovering Addicts, October 15th. Choices. We do not choose to become addicts. Basic text, page 3. When we were growing up, all of us had dreams. Every child has heard a relative or neighbor ask, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" Even if some of us didn't have elaborate dreams of success, most of us dreamed of work, families, and a future of dignity and respect. But no one asked, "Do you want to be a drug addict when you grow up?" We didn't choose to become addicts, and we cannot choose to stop being addicts. We have the disease of addiction. We are not responsible for having it, but we are responsible for our recovery. Having learned that we are sick people and that there is a way of recovery, we can move away from blaming circumstances or ourselves and into living the solution. We didn't choose addiction, but we can choose recovery. Just for today, I choose recovery. Today, Emotions Anonymous, October 15th. Reflection for today. Someone said at a meeting that anger comes from other people not meeting my expectations. If that is true, and I see it true for me, then I have two choices. I can either stay angry or I can lower my expectations. If I choose to stay angry, the only person I hurt is myself. My blood pressure goes up, I get acid indigestion, headaches, and become depressed. Or I can choose to lower my expectations. That is another way of letting go of what I cannot control, of not playing God by thinking that my way is the only right way. Meditation for today. I ask you to help me deal with my anger honestly. Today I will remember unrealistic expectations for myself or others creates anger. Strengthening my recovery. Meditations for adult children of alcoholics, dysfunctional families. Promise 10. Fears of failure and success will leave us as we intuitively make healthier choices. BRB page 591. While most folks believe they want to be successful, we know that many ACAs fear success. This is a fear born from years of regular servings of failure with side orders of abandonment, shame, and humiliation. To be successful means that the spotlight can be turned on us, which recalls painful memories of never being good enough. As we learn to connect with our inner loving parent, our inner child, and our higher power, our intuitive sense is sharpened. No longer dependent on old tapes or the critical voice inside of our heads. We are free to use this intuitive sense to make healthy choices. At the same time, we are clear that we are on a spiritual path and that every situation is a spiritual lesson. There is no way to fail on this path. Failure is the domain of inner critics, all or nothing thinking. As we learn to see this for what it is, we filter everything around us through our inner loving parent. We become attuned to our inner child's quiet and steady voice as it tells us the better course for our spiritual, physical, and emotional development. We release our fears. The affirmation reads, "On this day I will listen for guidance from my purest inner child's perspective and trust that my fears will lose their grip on me. I am open to being guided to higher levels of spiritual, emotional, and physical consciousness." Share, subscribe, like, and most of all, be the you that you are created to be, and to remember that you are not alone, and also that recovery is absolutely possible, one day at a time.